Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales. I made a These Prices Are Nuts video just before summer, and here we are again. Black Friday and Cyber Monday are in full swing, and it's hard to ignore what's going on in the industry. So here's your ultimate Black Friday guide. Well, sort of. I'll try to make this fast. I'm going to mostly be talking about bikes I really enjoyed and have reviewed. I'm putting links throughout with those reviews. You can also check out how these bikes rank in the loam library through the community tab on my channel's page. I'll have links to all these bikes organized by brand in the description. First off, I mentioned a bunch of Norco bikes in that first video, and those are all gone, and what's left I would not recommend. The SRAM SX group is just bad. Now real quick, some inside baseball. Margins on bikes tend to be small, in the 20 to 30% range. So if you're looking at newer or flagship brands like Santa Cruz, Ibis, or Yeti, 20 to 30% off is a pretty killer deal. Knowing that, it's definitely worth price shopping. But Jenson USA has some of the best deals on bikes I really enjoy, like the 5010, Nomad, Mega Tower, and High Tower. They also have okay levels of inventory, and the only difference is color for 2023 to 2025. There are some build differences, but you're getting the same frame. I'll start with Jenson USA because they have a call for price tag on many of the Santa Cruz bikes, and that's a pro move. That said, if you're looking for a double extra large 5010, check out this one on evo.com. And mostly the prices are the same from both sites, so check both if you want a certain color and need a special size. Beyond that, Yeti, Evo, and Transition sites are all in the 20% or more range. Be careful, as I've seen some bikes with higher prices outside their sites. There's not really an Evo I'd recommend against. I love the Evo Insurgent and following. I owned a Reckoning and still believe it to be the most fun 29er enduro bike around, and the offering holds its own against the newest all-mountain trail bikes from Transition and Specialized. I do think the sweet spot for the Evos are the GX builds. You're getting the best suspension and brakes, and if you want to splurge, go for the carbon wheels. That said, the Evo bikes are up to 30% off, so if you want the newest XX or XO transmission, who am I to judge? On the Yeti side of things, the lunch ride options for the SB120 and 140 are the way to go. So save some money on the C2 or go all in with the T3 and T4. You won't be disappointed. Just be aware there are some even older previous Gen 140s, and I'd probably avoid those. If you want 27.5 and are looking to freeride, Jenson USA has the older SB165 in stock, and you're looking at 50% off. Let's check out Forbidden. The Dreadnought is my bike of choice from Forbidden, so if you want a highly adjustable high pivot enduro bike, the GX RS S Plus would be my choice, and I'd probably opt for the mixed wheels. If you're looking for the original high pivot all mountain trail bike, the Druid GX build also has a pretty hefty markdown. Next, Transition. The Spire, Smuggler, and Patrol are my picks. If you're looking at the Sentinel, just go with the new bike, or the Smuggler. On the Smuggler side, for the extra $500, even if you don't want the electronic shifting, the better suspension and wheels are easily worth it. When it comes to Patrol and Spire, the GX Alloy gets you proper Fox suspension, so start there, and spend what you'd like. Evo has some of these in stock as well. That said, it's the Axis EXO models that get the best rear shock. The site's a little weird, so the Spire deals are in this section and the Patrol and Smuggler in another. I linked both in the description. Last but not least, Trek and Specialized. The Specialized Enduro and Stumpjumper Evo are quite long in the tooth, and while you can't run the Enduro with SRAM's transmission, this is a proper Enduro bike that was so far ahead of its time, I'd still recommend it. Sizing is super limited from Jenson USA and Specialized. It may be worth reaching out to Evo. They have every size in stock, but they're charging a premium. After riding the new Stumpjumper 15, the older Stumpjumper Evo is so close I struggled to recommend the new bike. This alloy bike has Fox factory suspension, but these carbon bikes are cheaper if you're on the shorter side. Again, links for all these bikes are in the description and sorted by brand. When it comes to Trek, the Gen 6 Fuel EX sets the benchmark for today's trail bike. And if you're okay with black, you can't beat this XTR build. Unfortunately, Trek immediately takes away the nicer suspension on these, and the 9.8 doesn't get factory suspension or even Performance Elite suspension. It takes you all the way down to Performance. That said, a new Grip X2 damper is probably under $500, so it may be worth it. Last note on the X, do yourself a favor and ignore the Gen 5. There are a lot better options for a better price. That gets us to the Slash. The Gen 6 is a rad bike that's not on a huge discount. So go for it, or check out the Forbidden Dreadnought I already mentioned. If you're looking at the Gen 5, that's another one I'd ignore. The Evo Reckoning is a very similar but overall better bike. I try to keep things to bikes I have a lot of experience with. But after scrolling through Jenson USA, I wanted to add a few. If you're looking based on price, this Orbea Occam LT-H30 fits the bill at $2,500. Similar to the Yeti SB165, this Rocky Mountain Slayer is such a fun bike, and while I wish they had more mullet options, they may have your size in one of these builds. This Juliana Rubion is 35% off, but as with the older Bronson, I left it off my list earlier because the new bike is just that much better. Last two bikes I have zero experience with, so take it with a grain of salt. But the Cannondale Jekyll seems like a good deal with a nice build. And this Ibis HD6 is a very cool bike with Fox Factory suspension, but pretty limited in sizes. So that's it. Drop a comment with the bike you'd love to pick up. Please use the links if you decide to buy it, and I'll be back tomorrow with another trail ride video. And as usual, there will be a new video Friday. Please like and subscribe. Now get out there, go fast, and take chances. See you next week. Dude, this thing is super fun.